Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Carter James Ranch channel here on a beautiful Friday morning. It was all nice and quiet here. Then the herd decided to walk up. They were actually all the way down near that tree line down there, and they saw me up here. I've actually been giving them a little piped water, little fresh water. I've been hauling to them just because certain paddocks, I don't want to give them access to the pond. I want to give our rock skirt a little bit of a break. I'll do another video on a couple mistakes I made with the rock skirt. It's still holding up, but I'll go into that later in detail. I made some assumptions and those ended up backfiring on me. But here we are amongst the herd here. Warm day, gonna be about 89 degrees today. Yesterday we were at 95 and it was pretty humid. So they said the real feel was projected to be 105, but we did have a breeze, so it really helped knock that out. But I wanted to show you some of these calves. The calves are developing really well. Real happy with all the South Poles. This 4021 right here, he's a bull. He's a Wagyu bull. He's really looking pretty good. So they're all growing really well. Let's see, who's this one right here? That one's got a green tag, so I know that was an early one, an early bull. I ran out of green tags and then went to the blue tags. So 4907 right there. Those are light colored Wagyu. They're kind of a gray. What I've noticed about the Wagyu calves is they kind of change colors. They can either be a gray like that, or they can be jet black, or kind of more of a brownish color. Then they end up darkening up over time. But the purpose of this video is to talk about our portable shade structure. We're dabbling with a couple different models. This was the first model that we set up, so I'm going to show it to you up close. Let's take a look at these calves real quick. This is our newest Wagyu. Obviously, you can tell I got her older because she's got horns. We dehorned them in the first 2 weeks of their life. But man, these South Pole calves, I'm loving how the calves are doing. This is one of our smallest heifers here. Newest heifers. So she's getting a little mineral. This 311 right here on the right, I'm watching him. He looks like he could be turned into a bull candidate. This 52M, he's a bull that we had to actually pull. Mom's one of the smaller framed heifers, and so we actually had to help her give birth to him. He's turning out pretty thick. So everyone's doing great out here at Redemption. So let me walk over here and show you the shade structure. Last year I had a shade structure built that's on skids, and it's real big, real heavy. It can be drug across the pasture, but with operating out here at Redemption, I wanted to get something on wheels where I could pull it easier with an ATV or a UTV. Didn't have to have a truck. So this was something one of my welder guys came up with. It's just an old hay trailer, and he extended it so from this bar all the way to the other end is 30 feet, and it's 14 feet wide. I did struggle a little bit. I've got these shade sails on here, and if I was going to do this again, I would probably have him weld me some notches and maybe even some thin cross beams where they could be attached on. So I kind of went a little ghetto fabulous here. Just ran some 16-foot boards across here just to support the shade sail a little bit, and to give me a place where I could put the hooks in where I could pull it tight. So each side of the shade sail is one side's hooked in like that, and then this one overlaps, but the other side is one of these doohickeys where you can kind of tighten it up. So yeah, this model, this is okay. I don't love the interior of this. Obviously the cows can only go so far in here. The smaller calves can get in here to the middle, so the smaller calves can get in here and lay down. But just really wanted to have some portable shade out here at Redemption. We don't have a lot of trees in certain pastures, and actually there's one 160 acre pasture that just literally has nothing, no trees at all. And since we don't allow the cattle to go into the ponds to cool off, I just feel like I want to provide them some sort of relief, especially through late June into August. So because we'll have some days where the real feel will be up over 100 degrees, and just want to take the edge off so they're not out here baking. Now, one thing that'll help is that we've got long grass out here, so when they lay down it'll be cool. But So this was our first design. We do have some support here. We will get high winds out here. So this is actually a pretty slick deal. I didn't think this was going to work very well at first, but yesterday when I put this in, so you got this extension that just clicks in there, comes down. This support deal, I don't have this thing all the way in, but this actually got kind of a corkscrew on it. And so you actually just twist it down into the ground. I could twist that down another foot. I'll actually cinch that one up over there. So this goes all the way down and kind of puts a little pressure on there. So that's already down to the ground about 8 or 9 inches. So it might be a little harder if the ground is real hard. It won't work if you're in a rocky spot, but we don't have a ton of rocky areas out here. So I need to come through and clip all these zip ties out. This is a little Ghetto Fabulous here, but just wanted to put it on there and see how it all worked out. So we're gonna be building the second shade structure here this weekend just to see, but this is a way that we can get, right now I projected we can probably get, depending on how many calves popped in there, we can probably provide shade to about 20 animals here. So obviously we have a lot more than 20 animals here, so we need a couple of these structures to be able to give everyone some shade. But I figure if not everyone's in the shade at the same time, it's okay. This paddock, we gave them a really long 2-day paddock, and there's 2 or 3 trees down there before you hit the fence line. So when they're up here around the watering hole, they can get a drink and chill in the shade, and then if they want to go down there, they can go down there. So I'll definitely do another video on our next design. One thing that's interesting about this design, these sides that go out, I can actually take off this end bar. This actually comes off, and this whole end bar can come out, and then these sides can actually fold up upright to 90 degrees. So if I need to move pastures and go through a gate, because this obviously extended 14 feet might be problematic depending on how high your fence is. So we can actually fold this up so the 2 sides fold up right into here, and then we can connect them, go through a gate real easily, and then kind of put it back together. So far it's accomplishing what I want it to do. Not real happy with how much, you know, again, sometimes you try these things and sometimes they work out great, sometimes they don't work out in the real world like you thought they would. But if I could do this all over again, see how these 16-foot cross beams are sagging, I should have put these in here so that the 2x4 is facing upward, so it wouldn't sag like this. So this will be a problem at some point, so I may have to redo that, but for now it's working. So obviously we got good forage out here. Been a really wet spring. Starting to warm up though. We're gonna have the next week or so, we're gonna be hitting mid-90s. So summer's coming. Still waiting on our last 3 heifers to calve. So we basically had a long calving window. I left the bulls in. We had a lot of heifers, so I left the bulls in for a lot longer last year, just not sure when all these heifers would go. And we did, everyone calved within a 60-day window except for 5 heifers. So, and since we've had, the last 2 weeks, we've had 2 of those heifers calve. So that means, you know, they were about 2 weeks outside of that 60-day breeding window. So I'm glad I left the bulls in. And now we're just waiting for three more to calve, so they're kind of sandbagging. So we'll see. But here's our first attempt at a mobile shade structure. So it's not the end all be all, but it's a good start. And I'm going to make some modifications on the second one, and I'll make sure I show that to you. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody.